Thank you, and congratulations to my fellow honorees. One of the most memorable days of my life was the first Margaret Brent luncheon that I ever attended. I walked into the largest ballroom in San Francisco, and it was filled to standing room only with these incredible and gifted women. And until that moment, I had never been in a professional setting where there were more women than men. And the energy in the room was electric, and the stories of the incredible honorees that year, women of power and courage, made me cry. And I realized at that moment that I had never experienced a level playing field, and that was the level playing field, and it blew me away. Those of you who know me well know that I am fascinated by the power of vision to transform our personal and communal lives. And I've come to believe that the single biggest challenge in setting a vision for ourselves is that we aim our sights too low. We go for what we think is possible rather than what we really want. And that first Margaret Brent luncheon ripped off some cultural blinders that I was carrying. And I realized that I had set my sights too low for what women can do in this profession and how quickly we can do it. And the energy and commitment that we feel to each other in this room can become commonplace. It can become our daily experience. And that's what we really want, and that's the vision that we need to set, and we have really got to picture it happening. Because the world needs us to achieve that vision. The challenges of our time, access to justice, world globalization, unprecedented environmental problems, these are going to take the highest level of leadership and lawyering skills that we have. And we cannot let discrimination or personal fear or cultural expectations stop us from doing everything we can to make this world wonderful. You know, it's truly overwhelming to be chosen as one of the women whose story is told at a Margaret Brent luncheon. It's overwhelming because I know the contributions and the commitment of so many of you in this room. You're brilliant and you're inspired, and the revolution in the role of women in this profession in the last 30 years is because of all that you have done. And I can only accept this award as a symbol of all of you. It's also overwhelming to try to express the love and gratitude that I feel for the community that has supported me unstintingly for over 30 years. It starts with my parents, Betty and Jim Bailey, who are only here in spirit, but they taught me everything I know about honor and courage and integrity. And you know, my mother really understood vision. In the second grade of St. Bartholomew's Catholic School, the nun asked all the girls in the class what we wanted to be when we grew up. And every little girl in that class, except one, said they wanted to be a nun. I mean, I had my hand in the air too. Frightening thought, but the only holdout was my twin sister, Susan, who said she wanted to be a doctor. And the nun gently told her that women couldn't be doctors. And my sister cried all the way home. And my mom gave her a hug, and then she went out and found the only female pediatrician in Northern California, Dr. Betty Bradley, another phenomenal pioneer who became our doctor. And when my twin followed in Dr. Bradley's footsteps and graduated at the top of her medical school class and then went on to become the first female vascular surgeon in the United States, my mother just smiled. And that's my sister there. Stand up, wave to the crowd. My community here today also includes my loving and lovable husband of 35 years, Hal Cranston, who has cheered me on from the start and even more importantly, did more than his fair share. And stand up. And my children, Susie and John, who are absolutely perfect, except that they chose to go to the Stanford Business School instead of the Stanford Law School. My two other wonderful siblings, Nance and Tom, and their spouses, Tim and Mary, and my niece, Isla, It includes the first two women partners of Pillsbury, Madison, and Sutro, Margaret Gill and Toni Remby, who have been lifelong and wonderful mentors to me. It includes my co-leaders of Pillsbury, Winthrop, Shaw, Pittman, Marina Park, Dave Snyder, and Steve Hutler, who's here. And it also includes my wonderful partners, my colleagues, and my tremendous friends here today. I have been blessed to walk with the best, and I could not have done my part without all of you. So I consider this award community property, and I share it with all of you. So thanks for this amazing day. It is another Margaret Brent luncheon that I will never forget.